This is my Windows installation video, how-to video. Originally I was just going to make a Windows 8 review video and go over some things in Windows 8. But when I downloaded the consumer preview, and then when I downloaded this, which is I believe actually going to be the boxed version of Windows 8 that you buy in a couple of weeks, I found some tricky things that are not obvious right out of the box that happen when you're installing Windows 8. So I figured I would make a video going over them. So as you can see, the first screen that you see basically looks the same as Vista and 7. Just click next, because usually you never have to change anything on here, at least if you live in the United States. Next screen, once again, looks exactly the same. You have your repair console if you ever need to get into that, and your big install now button, so we'll just click install now. Copies files over for a minute, maybe two, depending on how fast your computer is. So now this is the first thing that's different in the Windows 8 installation. You have your activation screen. As you notice now, you can't just click next and skip this anymore. There's only two things you can click on the screen. You can bring up a virtual keyboard, or you could bring up a privacy statement. Really big, long privacy statement. There's going to be a big privacy, Facebook epic level of privacy freak out once Windows 8 comes out. Trust me on that. A lot of weird privacy issues that people are going to freak out about. And personally, I don't care, but trust me, people are going to freak out about Windows 8 and privacy. You can no longer skip this screen unless you put in a valid activation. Why did they change this? Well, when you had all the big box stores out there that would, people would bring in a computer that didn't have a valid license key sticker on it, and they would just install Windows and skip through the activation and tell people it's your job to go home and activate it. The other thing is the guys on Craigslist who would come to your house and install a copy of Windows for $30 and then never activate it. Life's a bit harder for them now. But yeah, you have to have your activation key before you can even think about installing Windows from now on. I'm going to stop the video here and put in my key, and then we'll be back on the next screen. Okay, and after you put in your license key and it goes through its little activation thing, you get the license agreement. I find it kind of strange that you have a privacy agreement on the last screen, and now you have the good old license agreement that you have to click off of. But that's the way it is now, so click accept and click next. Now just the same old screen we've had for years now. Upgrade or custom. You can't run an upgrade install from the boot disk, so I don't know why this option is even here, or why it tries to get you to pick that, because if you do, it just tells you, hey, you can't do that from here. We don't need to prep the hard drive or anything, because it's going on a virtual machine, so we'll just click next. And now you have the same old screen that we have in pretty much every other Windows installation for the past 8 years. It's gonna get files ready for a real long time and do some installing, and gonna stop the video and you'll see me on the next couple of screens. Okay, now we're at the final stage of the install, and hey, look, it's something new. So this is the beginning of your big Windows Metro experience. For those who don't know the Metro experience, I'll explain it to you later what it is. But and for the record, I don't think it's called Metro anymore. I think they someone else had the trademark, so they got to call it something different now. But I'm reasonably certain that because it was called Metro for like 2 years, everyone's just going to call it Metro no matter what the official name for it is. So this is the beginning of the Metro interface. What does this slider do? It changes your color scheme for your Metro interface. See these first few? Background turns gray, and the buttons turn different colors. They kept expanding upon these color schemes as they went through the development process. I'll stick with that one. Now, if you have to put this on a network that you already have set up, a domain, anything like that, the easiest way I found to do with this is to just give it the names of what you're used to everything on the network being. I'm going to call this one demo because it's not really going to connect to anything. And then we're going to click next. Now, here's where things get new and kind of tricky. You can do the express setting thing, or you can do the custom settings thing. You can do express. I'll show you that real quick. Notice the first thing it does is it asks you for an email address. I'll go over that in a second, so I'm going to go back and show you some other stuff. You can skip over this. You'll see the screen again, by the way, in a little while. You can skip over that by going to sign in without a Microsoft account. But we'll go through the custom settings because it shows you more neat stuff. So, ask you standard questions. Yes, turn on sharing to connect devices. This is all the security stuff. Now this is, I think because of all the Facebook not giving you enough settings and people saying, oh, Facebook changed something and my privacy was violated. Now everything has a billion privacy settings. All this stuff turns on, you know, the Microsoft Experience program where they send back information to Microsoft so Microsoft can fix bugs and stuff like that. This is all controlled through here. More sharing info with apps. It's all the same privacy stuff that we saw Facebook get in trouble for the past 2 years with people complaining and then they forget about it 2 days later. Okay, now we're back to the sign in with your email address thing. We'll go over this now. Everyone was focused on the Metro interface replacing the start menu, and that's all you ever heard about when this thing was first shown and people were reviewing it. Metro replacing the start menu is nothing. It's no big deal. I'll go over that more in the next video I do on Windows 8. The big thing is they want you to everything to be your Windows account. They're trying to make this thing's really like Windows is becoming part of the cloud right now. It's like everything else is, and they want you to have one account, and that signs you into everything in the Microsoft universe, and even Office is going to be in the cloud from now on, and I guarantee you once Office comes out and we see how it works, it's going to use this same Microsoft account email address. It used to be your Hotmail address. It used to be, what was it, like your .NET passport, it was called for a while. They've gone through like 20 different schemes for how they're going to have this universal password thing over the past decade. Mine is my Google account. It would be nice if I had actually had one account, but I have Microsoft account that I log into that controls my whole Microsoft universe with my Google email address. And I have a whole Google universe that controls everything with my email address. And now you also have a Facebook universe where your Facebook logon controls everything. So we have like these three major competing 1Password entity universe things out there right now. So now if you sign in from here with the email address, that's fine. A lot of people are going to complain about the privacy aspect of it, and it automatically logs you into everything. I don't care. That's not my problem with it. My problem is, once you create this email address, it creates a user account, and your password, and your Windows logon, and everything local is also tied to this email address and password. Which means, if you have to log into a domain, or if you already have a network set up, or if you're going to drag over Windows Easy Transfer onto this, you're going to have a default account that's going to be called whatever this is called, and it gets really hard to change, and it gets really complicated after that. The first time I tried this and logged in with the email address, I had 2 user accounts, which was fine. I just created a new one and logged that one onto the domain. But then even though I made the other account administrator, it still wanted me to give the email address and password every time I tried to install an app. It's just a headache, so don't do it. Also, just imagine if you're tech, what life is like for us. Someone's going to come to you and they're going to need Windows reinstalled on their computer because, Timmy was downloading MP3s and got a virus. And you're going to look at him and you're going to go, okay, I have to reinstall for you. What's your Microsoft account and password? And they're going to look back at you and say, I don't know. Because they never know. So this is just a headache the way they're doing it. I don't like it. Skip it. So what you do is you go in here, sign in without a Microsoft account. They're so trying to push this email address thing and one logon thing that even after you say no, they still try to get you to log in with the Microsoft account. So you click on local account. Now here, when you do this, the best thing I found is just use your domain credentials and everything will be great. If you're putting it on a domain, if you're putting it on a work group, I would do the same approach. I would just give it, a name and password I already have set up. So we'll just name it demo because it's not really going to go on the domain. And we'll click finish. And now it does finalizing your settings, and you start seeing a whole bunch of rainbow colors. Oh, I forgot about this part. Let me go over this part. This part explains your new wonderful world of the Metro interface. Check out the new way to use Windows. And what does it boil down to? Touch the side of the screen and put your mouse in the corners. Touch the side of the screen. Stuff pops out. By the way, as far as I know, when it says any edge, I don't think the top does anything, so it's not really any edge. Move your mouse into any corner. This is the Windows experience. I'm going to go over the whole Windows 8 thing in the next video. What I find kind of interesting is you get a different little demo video on the 32-bit version, because I guess there's not going to be any 32-bit tablets out there, only 64-bit. The 32-bit version, when you install it, doesn't show you the tablet. But that's it. That's how you install Windows now. That's some of the little tricky things they put in there. And I'll see you in the Windows 8 video.